So here is a Kaschper single, and it's like a 2011, I think, boat, so it's pretty new. And the bow deck looks in pretty good order. It's a little bit dirty. This would buff up pretty nice. It would clean up really nicely. And then we always do this to check the boats out, and you always get a surprise. But when you open up the inspection port here, I don't know if it'll pick it up or not with the lighting, but you can see there's water in there, and that's the way it came in. So we'll get that dried out right away, even though we won't start working on this right away, but we'll get that water out. And then the cockpit looks pretty good, but again, now the bow section and the stern section are separated, so as you go down here you can see there's some water in there. A couple little scratches here and there, but buff this out, it would come out really nicely. So here's the hull, and the hull is a different story from the deck. Now there's some tape here, so I'm not sure what that's hiding, and there's a piece of tape here, so there's something wrong under there probably. But a lot of scrapes on this guy, mostly going from bow to stern, so it's like, you know, running into stuff, but you guys have a tough river to row on. And here is where the boat is, where the green tape is. This is the major crush section, and you can see it's on both sides. I think this must have got stuck maybe under the rack in the flood, which would explain how that water got in there. But it does have longitudinal scratches all the way down this boat here that almost start up at the bow and continue on almost to about here. And then the stern isn't so bad, but after we wash the boat down, that's when we really find everything that needs to be addressed. And there's a couple little nicks here on the stern edge, and it's a little bit dirty. But I found another crack section right here where the tape is. And I don't know, the sun's coming out here, but if you can see all these scratches now. And if you look under the bottom of the boat here right now, you can see that's the water that just came out of underneath the seat deck. But this has had some touch-up paint put on it already. And here's another view of the crush section here on the starboard side. Nothing we can't handle. So this thing will look great when we're done with it. Okay, here is a Kaschper single for Jonathan Bone, and we've now washed the boat off to really find out like what's up with this thing. And the deck's looking pretty good order. Didn't find anything crushed or anything. There is one little crack. You can see it right there in the deck. Very small. Small stuff's the hard stuff to do. And the cockpit looks pretty good. The wash box looks okay. The bailer, however, has got some scratches up in here, and it's on the flat spot. Unfortunately, there's one little touch-up spot that's right here on the deck. And the rest of the stern and deck looks pretty good. There's a little chip at the end of the boat here. I think that's just a little bit of tar or something. That'll clean off probably. So here we have now the hull, and up here there's two pieces of electrical tape that's covering something. I didn't pull that off because we wanted to talk to the owner first. And as you come off the boat, I mean, there's lots of scratches on this guy, and they've also already been touched up with some touch-up paint. When you get up into here where the green tape is, this is where the boat's fairly well damaged here. The hull's been crushed, and there's issues on both sides. Now, as you come up the hull here, now we're under the cockpit, and you can see these scratches. So it's almost, you can't buff and blend into scratches. Well, you can, but it looks like crap, and we don't do crap work here. So down here, this part of the boat doesn't look that bad on this side. However, when you press on it, you can see that the hull's moving. Now it looks like it's the original fin. And there's a tiny little hunk missing out of the stern here. Again, the little stuff is the hard stuff to do. And as you come up here, now you can see the cracked area. And hopefully this will show up the different colors. Pretty big gouge in the hull. It's right under the cockpit now. You can really see where the hull's been compromised here. And then you can see where the tape is scratched up here.